Hello there, welcome back to my channel. If you're Dr. Farmer, you could skip to that time. I'm gonna place it here on my screen. That's when my assignment starts. If not, so hello there. First, I want to apologize for not uploading anything on my channel for the past 2 months. That really wasn't the plan. I had everything planned and scheduled, and I know when I needed to edit stuff, and I was actually done with most of the editing for 2 videos, but then my laptop motherboard decided to stop working, and that made stuff harder for me because I couldn't edit. It's hard to edit on my iPad, so I'm gonna figure that out at some point, not now obviously. And especially that we're in April, where we're almost done with the semester. Finals are coming up. I don't think I'm gonna ignore everything I have right now and just try to figure out the stuff with the editing. So I promise right after my finals, I'm gonna find time for that. So this video is for, I know I never did a formal introduction on my channel to say what I do and who I am and all that stuff. I promise you soon I'm gonna do that right after my exams. And but I am doing a minor in entrepreneurship, and for my entrepreneurship class, I'm asked for one of my infusions to film a video and upload that on YouTube. So I decided to share that with everyone here, because I think there's something valuable you could get out of it. So today we'll be talking on how my mindset has changed since the beginning of the semester, and my biggest takeaways about entrepreneurship, creativity, and failure. So at the beginning of the semester, I thought an entrepreneurial mindset was mostly about having a creative idea and maybe being a bit persistent. Simple, right? What I've realized is that it's too much bigger than that. An entrepreneurial mindset is about how you approach everything in life, not just businesses. It's about seeing opportunities where other people see obstacles, staying flexible, adapting to change, and probably most importantly, embracing failure as part of the process. One big shift for me was learning to actually love challenges, not just tolerate them. At the beginning of the semester, so throughout the semester we were asked to read 2 books. The first book that we were asked to read at the beginning of the semester was QBQ, The Question Behind the Question. And it totally changed the way I think about personal responsibility. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Or why this part of the project is not getting done and blaming that on others. Now I try to immediately shift into, what can I do about it? What can I do to make that thing better? What can I do to overcome this obstacle? What can I do to get the assignment done if someone didn't do their part? And that simple question reframes everything, from small problems in daily life to major roadblocks in projects and in your classes or at work. I also realized that how important creativity is, not just the artsy type of creativity, but real world creative problem solving. If you've ever been to a hackathon, you know that nothing, literally nothing, goes as planned. We cut features, change directions, and focus on building something that actually works by the end of the event. That experience, working under pressure, dealing with uncertainty, adapting fast, felt like a crash course in real-world entrepreneurship. And in every single hackathon I've been to, we would start with a great idea, but once we start working and doing the research, we realize that we don't have the skills. we won't be able to finish that in just the time frame that we have. And we need to submit something. We cannot just like go to that event and just completely and just not submit anything. So we always shift to smaller, doable projects. And another example where I actually felt that I'm applying what I've learned in QBQ is that the last hackathon I've been to, something came up for my team members, and the 3 of them had to leave. And after more than 24 hours, I was left alone with no projects. I'm a mechanical engineering student. I have very minor coding skills. And I can't do such a project all by myself. But instead of complaining about, oh my God, I'm all by myself, or what would I do right now? Or maybe just not submitting anything or leaving, I decided to find a project that I could code myself that would have a new aspect to it where that I didn't know anything about before, so I could feel that I've learned something valuable out of that experience, and submit the project all by myself. And I had to go through the presentation all by myself and do the coding myself and learn about that new thing myself. And to be honest, it felt great. It felt that I am independent. It felt that I could do stuff myself. And I feel if I haven't read that book, I would have just left the hackathon or stayed around without submitting anything. I wouldn't say I would have blamed it on them, because I think of myself as a very understanding person, and I do think I do believe that things could come up and people cannot stay around for too long, and I don't like blaming others. Yeah, long story short, I was so proud of myself for applying the stuff that I've learned from the book and in my entrepreneurship class to a real life problem that I've never been through before, and that was really valuable. For our second book for the semester that we had to read, we were asked to read A Whole New Mind by Daniel Pink. Also, it made me rethink how we define intelligence and value. Creativity isn't a bonus, it's an essential. The right brain skills like empathy, storytelling, and meaning are things I'd never really thought of as part of an entrepreneurial toolkit. And now I see them as powerful tools that help you connect with people and build things that actually matter. So in the end, my biggest takeaway from this semester is that an entrepreneurial mindset is something you build through action. It's not about being perfect or never failing. It's about being curious, staying flexible, taking ownership, and not being afraid to start, even if you don't have it all figured out. This mindset has already changed how I approach my projects and even my goals and even daily life. And honestly, I think it's one of the most important things that I will take with me along after this class is over. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. That's really the end of that infusion reflection assignment. Dr. Kevin, thank you so much for everything you've taught us this semester. We've really learned a lot from you, so thank you so much. And thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And I hope you've learned something valuable. Have a good one.